I knew when Governor Brian Kemp signed that 6-week abortion ban into law with few exceptions, I knew that it would be problematic for women in this state, and I knew that it would be detrimentally problematic for black women in this state. Shout out to ProPublica, because for well over a year now, we've been hearing about all of the abortion bans that have been taking place in states across the country. We've been hearing how Donald Trump implemented Supreme Court justices whose sole purpose was to overturn Roe v. Wade and affirmative action. We've been hearing all of the politics surrounding the abortion issue, but we haven't been hearing the names, the real life stories of the women who are affected by what Donald Trump and the Republicans did by way of the Supreme Court. And ProPublica is telling the stories of these women, putting faces to the stories, putting names to the stories. No longer just viewing women as a whole of dealing with this issue. No, we are now getting the close and personal details of women by name and face who are dying because of what Donald Trump did and what the Republicans are doing. Let's talk about Candy Miller. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, Tabitha Speaks Politics. I am your host, Tabitha, and Candy Miller, her blood is on the hands of Donald Trump, Brian Kemp, and the Republicans in this state and across this nation. This beautiful woman right here, her name is Candy Miller. She was 41 years old, and her health was very fragile. She suffered from illnesses, lupus, diabetes, hypertension, and she had been warned by her physicians that if she were to ever get pregnant again, it would mean her life. She would not be able to carry those babies to term, and she herself would die. And so Candy Miller, who's currently married and has a son, found herself pregnant, and she knew that she could not have this baby. It could mean death for her. And so she got her hands on the abortion pill, mifepristone. She didn't even consult with physicians. She was afraid to consult with physicians because of the new strict abortion bans in this state. She was afraid that she would be criminally charged. So she didn't reach out to her physicians. She ordered the abortion pill and she took it. For several days, she was in agony, moaning from the pain, with her son by her side watching her go through it. For days, she was in agony. Why? Because her body didn't naturally expel all of the fetal tissue. And so she was experiencing an infection. That infection is what causes the severe cramping, the pain. And I'm guessing she was too afraid to go to an emergency room, because a few days later, after She started with these additional symptoms, the severe pain, the cramping, the excessive bleeding. Her husband found her unresponsive. And not too long after that, she died. An autopsy would later find that her death was as a result of the infection, which is known as sepsis, because she did not expel all of the fetal tissue. They also found that she had a lot of narcotics in her system, and they believe that those drugs, those narcotics, she was taking to combat the pain that she was experiencing. That is the story of Candy Miller. There is a panel here in the state of Georgia, a board of sorts, a committee. They reviewed her case. And after reviewing her case, they learned that her death was as a result of the 6-week abortion ban here in the state of Georgia. She would have very much gone on to live a happy, healthy as it could be, normal life had she was able to get a D&C. A D&C which would have cleared out the fetus, the parts of the fetus that did not expel on their own. But doctors are afraid to do that because of the abortion ban that doesn't allow for exceptions in this state. Candy Miller was 41 years old. And I will say again that her blood is on the hands of Donald Trump, Governor Brian Kemp, the Republicans in this state, and across this nation.